Oh boy. Another day, another day, another day. All right. It's been a tough season, man. Been a tough season. All right, let me see if I can just set this up and then we can get started. Trying to get this going for the most part. All right. We're pretty much good. All right, man. What's going on, everybody? This stuff, man. It's been a tough season. And things have not gone the way the Ravens have wanted it to go. It's been tough. It's definitely been tough. But, you know, definitely gonna have to make improvements moving forward. It's definitely something tough to deal with, but I don't know, man. Team's not where it needs to be right now. We just need to make some changes, man. We definitely need to make some changes because the Ravens just aren't where we need them to be right now. They've got to be better. The Ravens got to be better. They got to be able to execute better. They got to be able to perform better. Because what's happening with the Ravens right now, it ain't it, Chief. It is not it. Yesterday's loss was brutal. It was really brutal. That was the worst loss of the season. Going up to New England, taking on the Patriots, and that type of situation, and losing that game, that was brutal, man. That was really brutal. In fact, all three of our losses this season have been incredibly brutal. That loss was heartbreaking, and I'm a Chiefs fan. Man, I understand that, man, but for the Ravens this season, all of our losses have been heartbreaking. If you really look at it, all three of our losses, heartbreaking. First loss, Monday Night Football against Kansas City, a team we've wanted to beat. We have yet to beat. Matter of fact, this goes back to as much as 2015. I don't think we've beaten the Chiefs since 2015. So, a team we've yet to beat in a long time. We get them on Monday Night Football in our house, and we get embarrassed. Then you get the Pittsburgh Steelers, a heated rival, come into your house in Baltimore, and we lose that game. Now we go up to New England against the Patriots, another rival, and we lose that game too. Ah, man, it's been tough. All three of our losses have been brutal. And something's got to change in Baltimore, man. Something has got to change. This can't keep happening. If this team wants to get to where they ultimately want to get, which is a Super Bowl, something's got to change. I don't even know where to begin. Me too, man. I'm looking at this squad. I don't know what you can do. I feel like a major change has to happen to just shock them. What's going on, Caleb? I feel like some sort of major change has to happen. The weather was huge in that game as well. Yeah, the weather was definitely impactful. The weather was definitely impactful. But at the same time, when it comes to weather games, you can't use that specific part as an excuse for why a team lost because both teams were in the same element. Fact of the matter is, we hurt ourselves. The offense was just terrible at executing. It was a mess everywhere. Bad coaching. Bad coaching was definitely part of it. This coaching staff really needs to answer for the lack of discipline this team has shown this year. So many penalties. We weren't like this last year. Offensively and defensively, we're just getting stupid penalties. What's happened to the discipline of both of this team as a whole? Where is the discipline? This used to be one of the most disciplined units last year. Now they're just a jumbled mess. They continue to do stupid penalties. How many times are you going to get called for an illegal formation? How many times are you going to commit personal fouls? I just don't know. That's a coaching thing. That's a huge coaching thing. Yo, Boyle's out for the season. Yeah, that's tough. I just made my video a couple minutes ago. I think it's up by now. But yeah, it's tough. Losing Nick Boyle is gonna hurt because he was our best blocking tight end, and now he's out. That hurts, man. That hurts bad. Steelers going 16 and 0. I don't know. I don't think they're going 16 0. I believe they're going to go 14 and 2. And going 14 and 2 goes well. For some reason, teams that go 16 and 0 doesn't seem to end well. Same for 15 and 1. You got to lose one or two games to just keep you engaged. And I feel like with the Steelers, sometimes they play to their competition. So there may be a trap game or two they fall for. But, it'll be towards the end of the season, and then they'll be right back at it and completely focused for the playoffs. Yeah, tight ends ain't got no hands. They don't. They don't. Mark Andrews wide open in the middle of the field for a first down. Lamar puts it right to his chest and just drops it. Pathetic. They need to use Dez. They really should use Dez, but the Ravens always do this. They always give us the generic, oh, we're going to work him into our offense. Yeah, sure you are. Illegal formations or 12 men on the field, I'm over it. I'm so done with it, man, too. I'm really tired of it, man. It's sad. It's really sad. Roman has been having illegal formations in San Francisco. Yeah, he's never got. I don't know. This guy has not changed at all since San Francisco. The same crap he's pulled in San Francisco was the same crap he pulled in Buffalo, and it's the same crap he's pulling here. That's why I've had plenty of Niners and Bills fans contact me and be like, "Yeah, no, Greg Roman's doing the same crap he did with us. He's not going to change. He's not going to change his ways. He's not going to change his habits. It's going to continue to be the same. This is what Greg Roman is. He's not changing." Bills might beat them. Who, the Steelers or the Ravens? The Steelers, that's a tough one. Ravens, they can definitely beat us right now. Steelers better than the Ravens, but I agree. No question the Steelers are better than the Ravens. They have discipline. They play with discipline. They can execute. Even if they have moments where they're playing bad, they can still execute as a unit. We can't do that right now. 15 and 1 cursed memories. Yeah, I know, man. Green Bay. Shoot. Carolina. Whew. I don't know. 14 and 2 seems to work out if you want to try and get a Super Bowl, but I don't know. They dropped a lot of passes, but the weather probably had something to do with the drops. Yeah, the weather's definitely had something to do with the drops, but I'm not going to blame the weather for Matt Skura not knowing how to snap a football because it wasn't just to get this game yesterday where he's had that problem. He's had the problem the whole season, and it really showed against the Colts. So I can't really blame the weather for center not knowing how to properly snap a football. The only team that can beat the Steelers are the Chiefs and Ravens if the offense can make better plays. If the offense could be more consistent, be able to execute a lot more disciplined, a little bit more creative, and don't turn the ball over, they've got a great shot to beat the Steelers. Problem is, they haven't been able to show that all season. The Steelers can do that. No matter what the score is, the Steelers can still play discipline. They can come back and do that. We can't do that. So good luck with Thanksgiving. I don't know how that's going to work. Y'all gonna lose to the Titans this weekend. Probably. I mean, if Calais Campbell can't play, that's gonna hurt. And if Brandon Williams can't play, that's certainly gonna hurt. Who's gonna stop him? The guy you got Calais Campbell here to help you slow down Derrick Henry. And the guy you need to help you slow down Derrick Henry most likely will not play in that game. Good luck stopping King Henry. He's gonna run all over our defense, and we're gonna get smashed. Some's gonna, I don't know. Unless they figure this out, I don't know what they're gonna do. The way we plan, we are going to lose the next two games. Oh, no question. The way they played yesterday, with just the lack of execution and discipline, let them deal with that with the Titans. They're gonna get smashed. And then on Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be sitting here trying to enjoy the Thanksgiving games, and the Steelers are just gonna embarrass us, and it's gonna hurt. Steve needs to let John go and Roman and Wink. I don't know if you get rid of the whole staff. I know the whole thing about letting Harbaugh go. Everyone's been saying it, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm completely on board with letting Harbaugh go. I agree. Get rid of Greg Roman. I think, in fact, that if I was to pick one thing that has to be a big change in Baltimore, it's to let Greg Roman go. I think it's time. I understand people like Greg Roman in the system with Lamar Jackson, but this is the same nonsense we saw in 2012. We were 5-1 with that garbage offensive coordinator and Cam Cameron. Then injuries started to pile up. We lost 3 straight games. The mutiny happened, and next thing you know, Cam Cameron's gone. Matter of fact, we might need a second mutiny from John Harbaugh because the team right now does not seem like they're all on the same page. They got to figure something out. But yeah, Roman's got to be gone for sure. He's definitely got to be gone for sure. But I don't know about John yet. Derrick Henry will run for 500 yards. Hey, we need to come in and play on defense to try and stop Henry. I wish defense the best of luck. If the Steelers beat the Ravens, we're going 16-0. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe, probably. I'm in therapy right now. Y'all after that Hail Mary touchdown by D Hop, so things are tough here. Buff. Oh yeah, that Buffalo fans. I'll tell you this, Bills, you guys are gonna be fine. Just get healthy. The one thing I wanted to see from the Bills is to see if Josh Allen can deliver in a clutch moment. He showed he could do that. That touchdown to Stephon Diggs was the answer I needed to see from Josh Allen. If this defense can get more healthy and the team as a whole can get more healthy, the Bills can be a legit contender. Now, granted, they struggled with KC, but I think they can still be a contender if they can get healthy and be consistent, and Josh Allen can show up the way he did on that final drive. So I think the Bills are going to be fine for the most part. Coaching is horrid. The coaching is embarrassing. I mean, what have they really done so far this season? The only thing you can praise is the special teams, but Tucker and Sam have always been great. That's never just been a special teams thing. They've always been great. If there's anything you can give credit for in some cases for the special teams, is John Harbaugh. The special teams is never going to be bad under John. But other than that, coaching's been terrible. Wink has been consistently blitzing, and nothing's really changed from that. And Greg Roman's been predictable on offense. And it's not even like this play calling is good or bad anymore. It's just predictable. So, like, even if it's a good play call, defenses know what to expect. And because we're not able to properly execute it, we're getting beat to the punch. So, yeah. Hollywood Brown complains, but not getting the ball. Oh, about not getting the ball, but he never gets open. See, he complains about that. Part of that has to deal with the fact that, yeah, he's got to step his game up, but mostly we're not even using him right. I don't know why the Ravens haven't, realized this, but Hollywood Brown is a slot receiver. Why are you putting him onto the outside? Lamar Jackson force fed that pass to him that got picked off. He should have been picked off on the first pass he threw to Hollywood down the field. You expect a 5'10 receiver to beat any defensive back in the league. Him just stepping like he's a slot receiver. Play him at the slot. Here's the issue with that. Snead's a slot receiver. Duvernay's a slot receiver. What are you going to do there? You see, there's so many problems to this offense right now. I don't know where you go with it. So, yeah, Hollywood Brown needs to play better. But when you're lining him up to the outside, he's basically useless there. And all he does is run go routes. Of course, he's not going to be able to do anything if he's just running one route. Greg Roman needs to be gone. I completely agree with that. We now are in a position from being comfortable in getting into the playoffs to fighting for one. We the 7th seed now. This is exactly it. I see a lot of Ravens fans being like, we're going to be fine. Look at the games you got moving forward. Guys, I understand that a lot of games, after these next two games, a lot of the games are relatively simple. But you got to understand this. There are 9 teams in the AFC that have 6 or more wins. Steelers, Ravens, Browns, Colts, Titans, Dolphins, Bills, Raiders, Chiefs. There's 7 playoff spots. What's to say they don't keep winning? I'm just saying, guys, we're just assuming that we can beat these easy teams. We thought we could beat this Patriots team that was 3-5. We just lost. Everything's not guaranteed right now. We are really fighting for a playoff spot right now. One of them needs to go. John plays so scary against New England and the Chiefs. He always plays. Bruh, I don't know how many times John Harbaugh has gotten embarrassed by Bill Belichick because he cannot stop the trick play. I don't know. Every time New England plays us, they pull off a trick play. And I'm looking at John like, you gonna get beat by this again? This is the same, like, you let this cost us a playoff game. You understand that, and you still let this man do this to you. He continues to get manhandled on those trick plays. That's why Bill pulls it out every time he sees us. The Ravens need to improve quickly before the postseason. The way the Ravens are playing right now, they might not win a playoff game. Bro, the way they're playing right now, they might not even make the playoffs. That's scary. Ravens should have beat them because they're making they're marketing Patriots. Oh, they're making the Patriots look good. Yeah, Patriots. Again, it all comes down to execution and discipline. There's 3 things that it focuses on: coaching, execution, and discipline. We are not winning in any of these categories. We have looked poor in all 3 of those categories. Patriots showed up and looked well in all 3 of those categories, despite the fact that they don't have a great offense. You don't have to have a great offense. As long as you're able to execute and manhandle the other team, even if they're more talented than you, it doesn't matter. Execution, discipline, and coaching matters. And the Patriots were better in all 3 of those phases than we were yesterday, which is why we lost. Hey, if the Ravens miss the playoffs, y'all should trade up and get Gregory. I doubt the Ravens are going to do that. When's the last time the Ravens have actually traded up? I don't even know. They don't trade up. They always want to move back and get extra picks because they think that's going to help the squad. I think the Ravens can still make the playoffs if they make some changes. Yeah, they definitely need to make some changes. One starts with Greg Roman. I think that will send a huge message. It'll be a jolt. It will be a shock to the system. Your offensive coordinator has now been fired. We're bringing somebody in. It's going to tell everybody to step up. It's exactly what happened in 2012. It can work again. Fire Greg Roman, bring somebody else in, or put somebody else as offensive coordinator. It will be a great shock to the offense, and maybe it'll be able to bring them all together. Again, I think John may have to call another mutiny. In my opinion, the mutiny was the greatest coaching decision John had because it aired out all the problems the team had and it got them focused on one specific goal: win and get to the Super Bowl and win a championship. We need him to do that again. If he can't rally this team together as a coach, I don't know, man. He might be done here soon. Man, it's going to be hard to improve with all the injuries to both sides. So it's not going to be easy. It's definitely not going to be easy. Injuries continue to pile up, and it's just going to make the situation worse, which is why the team needs to come together. Knowing these injuries, you got to come together and play as a unit. We're not playing like that right now. Seems like Lamar is on an island. The guy has to make things happen every play, go Superman mode for this offense to have any success. They need to feed Gus. He was running strong last night, as always. Yeah, Lamar is basically the offense. If Lamar doesn't go and do anything, we're not doing anything. Lamar is everything to the offense. He controls both the run and the pass game. If Lamar doesn't do anything, we're losing that game. Lamar has to do everything for the offense in order to even get anything going. At what point does Lamar get some help? Why does Lamar have to do everything? Can't we get people to help him? You got a guy in Gus that can help, but we're not going to utilize him. You got J.K. Dobbins that you could try and get in more, but we're not utilizing him properly. It's just, we're just not helping Lamar out. And it's sad. The coaching staff is failing him. The organization is failing Lamar right now. To be fair, Bill Belichick has beaten a lot of teams with trick plays. Yeah, but he's consistently done that with the Ravens. He's done that with a lot of teams, but he's consistently done that with us. Almost every time he sees us, he pulls out a trick play because he knows John Harbaugh is going to fall for it every single time. So I don't know. If us Ravens fans learned one thing, it's to not run our mouths in the offseason. From January to September, we talked about going 16-0. Snead comparing Lamar and Hollywood to Montana and Rice. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all fans were saying that. I said we were gonna be 12-4 because I saw us losing 4 games. I looked at the schedule and said, yeah, there'll be times where we're gonna lose to the Steelers. We might lose to the Titans. We might lose to the Chiefs. I saw that. I said 12-4 at best. I was not drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking we were on 16-0. That was stupid for people to think. But yeah, comparing Lamar and Hollywood to Montana Rice, you can't do that after one season. Stop it. That was just idiotic to do. Man, this is tough, man. I really wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even make the playoffs because the Browns right there with them right now. Yeah, the Browns might low key just sneak into the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a Rams fan. I think Lamar is the second best. Oh, you're trying to say quarterback in the league when he shows up. You can make that argument, but I don't know. I mean, Russell Wilson, when he's at his best, I don't know. You can argue he's better. Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I'm not exactly 100% sure you can say Lamar's the second best quarterback. I still believe he's an elite quarterback when he's able to play at his best and his teammates are able to help him. We need 3 tight ends because Lamar loves them. Lamar loves tight ends, man. The Ravens love tight ends. So we need 3 tight ends. Now we only just got Andrews, so they're gonna have to go figure that out. If y'all lose to the Titans, Browns, and Steelers, it may be over. Yep, we lose our next 3 games, season's over. You're not getting the wild card spot. I don't see the way that all these teams are playing in the AFC. The AFC is way better than the NFC this year, and it's crazy to think that. But the AFC this year is so competitive. 9 teams with over 6 wins. You can't afford to lose games right now. If you're not leading in your division, you can't afford. Heck, the Bills lost yesterday, and now the Dolphins are a game behind them. You can't afford that. You actually got to show up right now. It's that serious. Never underestimate your opponents because if you look at the Chiefs, they look down to the Raiders and then lost by 8. I think that's what happened to the Pats and Ravens, but I could be wrong. I mean, I don't think the Ravens have never looked down to the Patriots. That's never been the case. Despite the fact that Tom Brady's not there anymore, they will never look down at the Patriots. It really just came to the fact that they weren't disciplined, the coaching was terrible, and the execution was absolutely atrocious. It's what cost them. Lamar Jackson on third down makes a play, scrambles to get the first down. And what happens? The very next play, scorer messes up the snap, ball starts rumbling, just moving around. We lose 16 yards. You can't blame that on coaching. That's execution right there. I respect the hell out of your content, and I agree with you entirely. Thanks, Samuel. I appreciate the support. We're going to keep it going. Even if the Ravens are falling, we're going to keep it going. You think Ingram has to go? I'm pretty sure Ingram's done after this season. The team, like the Koska's looking at this and like, yeah, it looks like Ingram's not going to be here after this. Most likely, I don't know. Ingram is a great hype man for the team, but he's got nothing left, man. He's got nothing left with this team. You can clearly see it. You got to go with Dobbins. You got to go with Gus. Ingram looks like he's out moving forward. Oh man, the Ravens should hire Katie Solis from the 49ers as an offensive coordinator. Honestly, I'll take anybody over Greg Roman right now. I'm dead serious. I'll take anybody over Greg Roman right now. Something fresh and something new could definitely help this team. The best to have a mutiny was the bye week. Then we could have probably beaten Pittsburgh and New England. Probably would have been a great time. But even back then, when we had the mutiny, we didn't. I don't believe we had it at the bye week. We had at some point. It was like after a terrible loss to what was it? The Texans. We had a terrible loss, and John was like, "Everything's in shambles. We need to bring them together." So I feel like a loss like this could bring them together. Either this or next week. If we lose to the Titans next week, I think you got to bring it together and have a meeting, no question. So it's really up to that. What's going on, Ethan? I'm doing well. Not really pressing over the loss anymore. We're just trying to move forward and see what the team can do. I've kind of accepted the way the Ravens are. It's not like we're not used to this. We're not really used to the Ravens being at the top. We're used to seeing them fight for a playoff spot and to watch his offense be anemic. That's just what we're used to. We dealt with that for over a decade with Flacco. So I'm not really surprised to be in the situation with Lamar, especially because just like Flacco, we have not surrounded Lamar with the right pieces to help him succeed. What do you think the Ravens' record would be? Well, if they can turn this around, I still think they can go 12-4, but 11-5, 10-6 or 11-5, man. That's what I'm seeing right now. Ravens bad luck charms. All white uniform, Dan Fotis or Tony Romo commentating, whole pregame panel choosing us to win. It's just like they just straight up jinxed us. For some reason, when you choose one team to win, for some reason it doesn't go well for them. Raiders are good, but Carr isn't a Super Bowl quarterback. Hey man, you don't necessarily have to be a Super Bowl quarterback to win a Super Bowl. The team has to rally together. Let's remember, man, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl and he was not a Super Bowl quarterback. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl and he was not a Super Bowl quarterback. This is just the type of thing. You don't have to be a Super Bowl quarterback to win a Super Bowl. It's a team effort. Moving Boykin to tight end with Boyle out for the season. Again, everyone's been saying the last couple weeks. At this point, just move Boykin to tight end. Move Boykin to tight end. At this way, moving Boykin to tight end, you can fit Des Bryant into the lineup if you do that. That would just be a smarter thing to do. If Boykin moves to tight end, he would be a lot more effective on this offense. It could help out. Eric Benamy to Baltimore, either as head coach or offensive coordinator. I've heard a lot of people say Eric should be the next coordinator. Just take him from the Chiefs and bring him here. I would have no problems with that. Don't put all the blame on Greg Roman. At some point, Lamar has to step up his game passing. Your offense will always be predictable if you can't consistently pass. I'm not putting all the blame on Greg Roman. I'm sharing the blame. I blamed Greg Roman for his part, but I also blamed the offensive line for not protecting. I blamed the receivers for not catching the ball. I've blamed the execution. And again, I've talked several times that Lamar needs to improve his passing. But at the same time, while you know he has to improve his passing, you got to look at the situation, man. His receivers can't get any separation, and when they do get separation, get open, they're dropping open passes. His offensive line that's injured is not protecting him, and they're committing idiotic penalties that is killing drives. His center can't even properly snap a football, and the predictability on the play calling is definitely harming him. As much as we want Lamar to improve, I don't see how he's able to improve with this type of unit right now. How can we expect this man to succeed when everybody around him is failing him? Of course, he needs to step his game up, and he hasn't been perfect. We know that. But it's hard to improve when you look around you and everything's just failing you. That's tough. The fact, but the Raiders don't have the team yet. Oh, I'm not saying the Raiders are going to be a Super Bowl team. In fact, I don't believe the Raiders are going to make the playoffs. I have this thing with Raider fans that I'm not going to talk about until the season's over. Because if the Raiders make the playoffs, I got to give my apology. If they don't, I'm bringing this back up. But I have this whole thing with the Raiders and John Gruden that I said a couple years back, and I'm hoping they don't get to the playoffs. Let's leave it like that. Hollywood should play more slot. We've been saying it. We all know this. We keep telling the Ravens. Hollywood Brown is a slot receiver. You cannot put him to the outside and expect him to beat these corners one on one. They're bigger than him. Even if Lamar puts it in the perfect spot, he's a 5'10 receiver. What is he going to do? He needs to be in the slot. Problem is, Willie Snead's a slot receiver, and Devin Duvernay's a slot receiver. What do you do with that? How do you share those snaps? How does that work? Because you got three slot receivers, one of them's gonna have to go to the outside. So they choose Hollywood to be that guy because of his speed. Problem is that he's not really beating people one on one like that. Someone on the Ravens subreddit said that if we had drafted DK Metcalf, he would have been a bust with how bad we handle wide receivers. I don't trust this receiving coaching staff to do anything with any of these players. Honestly, DK Metcalf, I don't think he would have been a bust with us. He would. I feel like his talents would be wasted though, because Baltimore does not know how to develop wide receivers. Like honestly, to this day, I'm just low key thinking, man, if we can go in that receiving room of Pittsburgh and that scouting team, and we can just hear who they're calling, it would help us. Pittsburgh knows how to develop receivers like crazy. Why can't we be like that? I don't know. That's why Steelers always look at the offense like, y'all never gonna be anything. Y'all don't know how to draft receivers. Y'all don't know how to recruit receivers. We know how to do that. And then we know how to utilize our receivers, man. Look at Juju, Deontay. I'm done. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair, but give them credit, man. And speaking of DK Metcalf, man, everyone's looking at that draft now. You could have got You could have got man, you could have got DK. You could have got AJ Brown. You took Hollywood, and people are now looking at that sideways. So, poop. Katie Sowers because she and Kyle Shanahan make Jimmy G look amazing. I mean, I would have no problem with her becoming the offense coordinator. I have no issues with that. Anyone's better than Greg Roman right now. Lamar's situation is very similar. Thank you, Chiefs fan, bro. Thank you for saying that. I said this exactly yesterday. Lamar is now in the same situation as Deshaun Watson, but nobody says anything about that. They're putting the blame on Lamar, but just like Deshaun Watson, Lamar has no help. Everybody's injured. He has no help, no help at receiver. His offensive line is terrible, can't protect him, is injured, and his own freaking center can't probably snap a football. He's in the exact same situation as Watson, but no one's really calling Watson out for it because of Bill O'Brien. They're like, well, he has John Harbaugh, but what has John Harbaugh really done to help moderate the situation besides saying, next guy up, man? We're going to be fine. We're going to rally around our next guys. But then these next guys aren't executing. So where's the rallying at? What do you think of the Rams? The Rams are definitely a surprising team. They beat the Seahawks yesterday. That looked nice. Seattle don't have a defense. If I was to go between the Rams and the Seahawks, I'm picking the Rams. That Seahawks defense is garbage, and it's going to cost the Seahawks the playoff. If the Seahawks actually get to the playoffs, they're not going anywhere. That defense is going to cost them the game. Unbiased opinion. Do you think y'all beating the Titans? If so, please explain. If not, why? I think we can beat the Titans if we can get our players back. Like we need Jimmy Smith back. We need LJ Fort back. We need Calais Campbell, and we need Brandon Williams back. If we can get that back on defense, we got a great shot to beat the Titans because the Titans are struggling right now. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games, so the Titans are beatable right now. They're kind of vulnerable. If we can get our pieces back on defense, we got a great shot. If we don't get them back, I think the Titans are going to run all over us, and it's going to be a wrap. Start Dez on the outside. They got to do that. And bench Boy. I don't think you can bench Boykin at this point. Since we just lost a tight end, it's time to take Boykin from a receiver to a tight end. He cannot play this receiver. He's not great as a receiver in our system. He's a big body guy, so move him to tight end. Let him play alongside Mark Andrews, and I think his production can work out. That way, you can actually have Dez Bryant be in the starting lineup, and it can help out like that. If Baltimore drafted D Hop, would he be a bust? No way. D Hop is when you are a generation talent like that, you just make it work. Megatron made it work on Detroit, despite the fact that Detroit was just terrible. He made it work on Detroit. When you're that type of receiver, you're gonna make it work. Besides, D Hop was with the Texans when they had horrible quarterbacks, no defense, and he was still balling. D Hop's going to ball no matter who or what team he's on. That's just how it is with them. Ravens defense is not below average at what the Yeah, okay. Ravens defense is not below average at all. Just banged up with injuries last night. We'll be fine on defense. Yeah, defense is gonna be fine if they just get healthy. Hollywood can rotate outside and slot. He can rotate between the outside and slot, but he's just not gonna do anything when he's on the outside. Any thoughts on whether or not Marcus Peters has contributed to the team? He's contributed when it comes to making turnovers, but he has not contributed in terms of being able to cover his receivers because he's biting all the time. He's always trying to bite to try and get the ball, and it ends up costing him to get burnt a lot, leaving dudes open, and then he struggles to tackle them. That's Marcus Peters. He's been like that since his second year in Kansas City. That's why he's no longer on Kansas City anymore. The Steelers have an easy game. You can't count. Yeah, they had an easy game against the Bengals. I don't know who they're playing this week. They had an easy game against the Bengals, but still, I mean, that's not the Steelers' fault. You play who's on your schedule. When they played us, they won, so it is what it is. Man, who will be our new offensive coordinator? I have no clue. I'm seeing a lot of people look at the Chiefs and saying Eric. I'm seeing people bring up Katie from San Francisco. I don't know. Anybody other than Greg Roman could work right now. We don't have enough on offense from Lamar. We don't have enough on offense for Lamar. Like you said, bro, Ravens have never been good at developing receivers. It is very frustrating. I don't believe we have a number one receiver on offense. Yeah, they've never been good at developing receivers. They got lucky one time. There's one receiver in the history of this franchise that they just got lucky. Torrey Smith. They did not really develop Torrey. Torrey Smith was lucky. And injury is the reason why he ended up playing with Flacco. I'm just being serious. They were going to do the whole, let's slowly integrate him into the offense. But an injury happened. He got the place of it, and him and Flacco just connected like that. And they just took advantage of it. The best receiver they've developed is Chris Moore. And we know how that turned out. They can't develop receivers at all. Makes you wonder why they're still employed for the Ravens. Like, DeCosta, you got to see this. These guys can't do their job, man. Get them out of here. You need guys that can scout receivers and work on developing these guys. The people we have right now, they're not it. Get them out. Do you got the man? I did not pre-order the PS5. I do not got it, bro. First of all, I'm not gonna buy it. You don't buy the PS5 early on because it's definitely gonna have issues, man. Y'all keep pulling this whole thing. No, you gotta wait. Let these bugs get fixed before you actually get the PS5. You can't just copy it right now. You gotta wait. Because I'm seeing a lot of people having problems with their PS5s. I'm just saying, man, you might want to wait on that. I almost hope the entire Ravens team is sitting in the meeting right now watching this live stream just to see how frustrated everyone is. Man, they're not gonna. I would love for them to be listening to this live stream and seeing their issues as a whole, but the Ravens are just gonna keep trucking and say, man, we just gotta execute better. They're just gonna ignore the issues. They're not gonna really focus on fixing them. That's just what the Ravens are gonna do. They're gonna keep on trucking and just hope everything works out. That's going to be a disappointing ending for the season, which is why a lot of Ravens fans are preparing themselves for disappointment because they feel like this team is not looking to change. We'll be surprised if they do, but they're not looking to change their mentality. They're not looking to do that. Until they do, we're not going to be surprised by what happens. Do any players watch your videos that you know of? I don't think any of the players on the Ravens watch my videos. If there is a player that does, you guys ever hear him say that? Please tell me. I would love to get into contact with them. They're calling out Lamar over Watson because Lamar won an MVP and he's not living up to it. Watson has not won that. I get it. The team is bad and Watson is good, but Lamar has more pieces around him. Lamar had, you're right. He has. No. The real thing is Lamar had more pieces. He's lost many pieces on that offensive line. He just lost his second best tight end. He's lost several pieces on the offense that are crucial to how we run our system. And the receivers surrounded by him are not getting separation. And when they do, they're dropping wide open passes. That's the problem. That's why we're saying he's in a similar situation. And I understand you're calling him out for being the MVP, but at some point, you got to be fair. Look at the situation. We spent a decade calling out the front office of Green Bay for never surrounding Aaron Rodgers with the talent. Why can't we do the same for Lamar? We've always talked about how they never surrounded him with the receivers. Why aren't we doing that for Lamar? Did that for Aaron Rodgers for a decade. We're not doing that with Lamar. Just got to be fair with that. Everyone before the Steelers game, Ravens going to the Super Bowl. Everyone after the Pats game, we ain't going to the playoffs. It's definitely a jump, man, because the team, despite the fact that a big part of people believing the Ravens can go to the Super Bowl was because they were winning games, despite the fact that the offense just wasn't where it needed to be. But we thought at some point it would get it together. Now it looks like it's just not going to get it together. Predictable play calling on offense. We just need to get healthy on defense. Brandon Williams, Calais Campbell, Jimmy Smith. We are missing key players on defense. Hopefully, we get some of them back Sunday. LJ Fort's also missing as well. Do you think the rain has something to do with the last drive? Man, let's be real. They were not. That last drive, it was pouring. If we couldn't see them on the TV, what the hell do you think Lamar and the crew were seeing out there? You couldn't see a damn thing out there with the way the rain was pouring. That last drive was a wash. You might as well just call the game and say, well, Ravens, I'm sorry, you're not going to win the game. It's a wrap. You might as well call a game because they couldn't see anything out there. They couldn't see anything that last drive. There was nothing. Man, shoot. We had a better chance of making a drive. Like all of us right now in the group chat, we could have just gone right there, played, gotten like a bunch of people, 11 people for the offense, somebody be the quarterback. We could have gone out there and we would have had the same amount of chance as Lamar in the offense of being able to march down the field with the way the weather was going at that last drive. It just wasn't going to happen. They only have slot receivers besides Dez, and they never use him. They're probably never going to use Dez. They're going to be like, we're slowly going to develop him into the offense. We're going to slowly integrate him, and then they're just not going to use him. And then when they put him on there, they'll give him a few snaps. That's just what they're going to do. Do you think the Ravens catch the Steelers? No, this isn't 2018. In 2018, they were dealing with the clown show. You got AB, that whole situation, Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger calling out players on his radio show. They have none of that. They are focused. They are locked in. They are disciplined. And they actually have the defense that can help them. Unlike 2018, the defense they have right now, that is a top 5 defense. They've got the defense and they got a focused offense. They're not about to just blow the division like that. If they do, I would be shocked. But they're not going to. They're so disciplined right now. They're ready to go. Steelers got Jacksonville next week. That's a trap game. For some reason, Jacksonville plays well against the Steelers, but they'll figure it. We'll see if they figure that out. But that's a trap game for the Steelers. We didn't play terrible on D. Our offense just couldn't keep up. We had a chance to catch up. Our offense couldn't keep up, but the defense didn't play completely terrible, but they just couldn't stop the run. That's the one thing I'm like, they played terrible. In terms of the pass game, they were all right, but the run game, no, they could not stop the run. That's ultimately what killed that defense. They couldn't stop the run. That catch from Hopkins was incredible. That was the best catch I've seen in a long time, bro. That catch reminded me of the touchdown catch Calvin Johnson had against the Cincinnati Bengals because he did that over 3 receivers too. Torrey Smith was complete luck. He was complete luck. Just a bunch of passive interference plays that him and Flacco were completely pulling off. The Steelers are a great organization for developing receivers. Wish we had that level of coaching and developers on our side. The Steelers will eventually lose. They'll be 14-2 or 13-3 when it's all said and done. I believe they'll be 14-2, and I think that'll work in their advantage because you got to lose to see some of the flaws that you can improve on. And I believe the Steelers will eventually lose, fix those flaws, and they'll be good to go for the playoffs. I think the Patriots game was a bit weird cut because Lamar had to play through a hurricane. Yeah, it was definitely weird. It was definitely weird. It was a crazy game. So I think that's why a lot of people in the media aren't really putting this on Lamar himself. Who do you think is going to win MVP? Patrick Mahomes is in the lead right now, but Aaron Rodgers is right there. So we'll see. Of course, there's some talk for Kyle Murray. There's some talk for Josh Allen. Russell Wilson has fallen from number 1 to probably number 4. But yeah, Mahomes is in the league right now. Ravens need to work on their defense. They need to get healthy. That's what their defense needs. They need to get healthy. Simple as that. They're just not healthy right now. Several players are missing from that defense that did not play yesterday. Ravens will miss the playoffs. If they keep playing like this, they certainly will. Who do you think is going to win, Vikings or Bears? I don't know. I don't know what Kirk Cousins am I going to get. Am I going to get the Kirk Cousins that's going to throw for 250 and 3 touchdowns, or am I going to get the Kirk Cousins that throws for like 140 and 3 interceptions? I don't know what Kirk Cousins I'm going to get. That's inconsistent. Flip of the coin. I'll take the Bears, I guess. Ravens were 14-2 last year because they ran a 3 tight end offense. Hurts, Boyle, Andrews couldn't stop that. This coming from a Steelers fan hurts, man. I don't know if y'all should have got rid of him. Probably shouldn't, but apparently the team thought they were good enough with 2 tight ends. Look at it biting them right now. All you got is 1 tight end. Put Boykin in as tight end. Activate Dez. Yeah, move. Yeah, we gotta move Devin Duvernay and Hollywood to slot. They need to be alternating too. That could work out. Doubt Greg Roman's gonna do that. Steelers and Chiefs will probably go to the Super Bowl. You mean Steelers or Chiefs will probably go to the Super Bowl. I got what you, man. Most likely the Chiefs. Yeah, that game was terrible, man. Madden curse. Do you believe? I'm not one to believe in the Madden curse, but if it's true, then this year it decided to attack the MVP and face of the Madden differently. Last year, Mahomes suffered that injury, which was weird, and he missed a couple games, and that affected him. But he still managed to win the Super Bowl. So Madden Curse said, "Nah, we finna hit twice, and we're gonna do it differently. We're not gonna attack Lamar Jackson. No, he gonna stay healthy. We're gonna attack every piece around him. Let's start injuring his defense, and let's start taking away pieces from his offense that helped him be successful. And let's just throw him to the fire." The Madden Curse, man, if it's real, it's doing serious damage on Lamar right now. McCole Hardman or Hollywood Brown? That's definitely a good question. You'd probably have to say Hardman because he's actually, doing more than just running go routes. So yeah, Hardman. Not Hollywood Brown's fault, but just looking at the way both of them have played, Hardman has been better. In my opinion, Ravens lost to the Titans in the playoffs. They have the same problem this year. They can't beat good teams. They've only beaten one good team, and that was the Colts. The problem is the offense is the same offense they ran last year is the exact same offense they ran this year. Greg Roman did not change the playbook, which is why there's so many different predictable plays. Secondly, the execution is poor. They can't execute. Last year they were executing at a high level. This year they're executing at one of the worst levels in the league. Lastly, discipline. There's no discipline on this team. This team last year was not getting the idiotic penalties they're getting this year. Those three things are killing them, and it's what's hurt them so far. Yeah, Dez is probably not going to play. Can't believe on fourth down on our own side of the field, Greg Roman thought the wild card was the answer when we have Lamar Jackson's quarterback. That is what Greg Roman will do to you. That's why he needs to go. What do you think about the Steelers as Super Bowl contenders? Oh yeah, they're already Super Bowl contenders. I have the Steelers second in the AFC, right behind the Chiefs. I think the Steelers have the best chance to beat the Chiefs because they got the defense that could slow down Mahomes. Though I don't know, man. I think the Steelers got the best chance to beat the Chiefs. That's why I put them at second. Mahomes won the Super Bowl and ended the Madden curse. Well, if he ended the Madden curse, well, I guess this is a new Madden curse. Now it's like we can't attack the player, we can attack what's around him. That's just how it's got to be. Ravens missed their opportunity last year. That Super Bowl window has closed. It could be the case, but I don't know, man. All right. Top five defenses, in my opinion: Pittsburgh, Rams, Bears, Colts, and then the Cowboys/Seahawks. Oh, like one Pittsburgh, two Rams, three Bears, four Colts, 32 Cowboys/Seahawks. Probably. Feel like Jets could be in that conversation, but I don't know. The Jets have not been nearly as bad as those two. Think about my name for a second. There's charisma. Jayhawk. That's a cool name. I'll give you that. That's definitely a cool name. The Jets are a disappointment. They're an embarrassment to football right now. That is a cool name, but that is a weird name, bruh. All right. Mahomes won't win the Super Bowl or won't make it if he wins MVP. I don't know about that. I think Mahomes can still make the Super Bowl, bro. That team does not look like they're slowing down anytime soon. For some reason, half of this guy's viewers are Chiefs fans. I guess it was that one viral video. It probably was. It's like half my viewers are very weird. It's not all Chiefs fans. It's still a majority of the Ravens fans that I have as my viewers. It's just like over the last couple weeks, I got a crap ton of like Chiefs fans. Now it's like Ravens fans is the majority. Then you got Chiefs fans. Then it's a mix of the Steelers, the Titans, couple Browns fans. And now the Dolphins are starting to support me too because I love Tua and I'm starting to cover them more. I also got more Bills fans. It feels like it's a majority of the Chiefs fans because of that video, but nah, it's still a majority of the Ravens fans. Most of my stuff is still majority of the Ravens fans because I cover the Ravens as the most. But I'm getting a lot more Chiefs fans as of recently. Hoy, who's your favorite quarterback of all time and why that player? Peyton Manning. I just feel like, in my opinion, nobody was better. Nobody had was better at making adjustments at the line of scrimmage than Peyton Manning. Nobody was more prepared than Peyton Manning. The person who was as closest to that is Tom Brady. And that's why people got Tom Brady's GOAT because they were just both as prepared. It's just one has 6 rings. I just watched Peyton Manning growing up and I looked at it and it was like, the way he's able to control his offense. Nobody controls his offense like that. It's not like with Brady where he's got a Belichick telling him to do this and yelling at him. No, this man had complete control of his offense. The way he was going up against some of the best, man. And the way he was able to call out those blitzes and the adjustments he made. Granted, in the playoffs, the man had his moments of being a choker. But in terms of just having complete control, of the offense as a quarterback. Nobody was better than that than Peyton Manning. And I just grew up watching this man, and I adored what he did. That's why Peyton Manning is my favorite, man. Tampa versus Chiefs. I don't know. Tampa Bay is going to have to get past the Saints. I don't know, unless the Saints choke again in like the wild card round. But if Tampa matches up against New Orleans, I don't know if they're going to win that. Do you think if we get back our key players on defense, we can handle the Steelers? I'll hand the Steelers their first loss on Thanksgiving night. We have an opportunity to, but the offense is going to have to step up, and they can't turn the ball over like they did in the first matchup. I don't think the Chiefs' defense is good enough to make a Super Bowl. That offense is definitely good enough to make a Super Bowl. The problem is that defense is really scaring them, which is why Chiefs fans have talked about this, saying that defense needs to improve. Hollywood was open last year. He was open last year, and Lamar hit him last year. This year, he's not nearly as he's been hit. There's been moments he's open, but it's either Lamar's missed him or the offensive line did not protect Lamar enough to even make the attempt to throw it to him. Tighten up. We both started the second half of the season bad, bro. Yeah, we gotta. Both teams gotta figure something out, man. This game is important for both teams to get back on track. Our run defense is an issue. Our defense as a whole is fine. Yeah, I agree with that. Who do you think is gonna win the Tampa? Okay, win the Super Bowl, Tampa, or the Chiefs. Well, if Tampa Bay gets there, between the Chiefs and the Bucks, I'm gonna take the Chiefs, man. Uh, do you think the Ravens beat the Steelers on Thanksgiving night? If we can get, if our defense can get healthy and we can figure something out on offense, we have a shot. When can we? Oh, okay. When can we still win out? Weirder things. Well, yeah, we could still win out, but weirder things have happened. Someone could flip the switch, and the team and win out the rest of the season. We show a lot of signs of potential to be a real good team. We have an the Ravens have an opportunity to do that, but I feel like a shock has to happen to the system for them to be able to come together. And I feel like Greg Roman has to be the sacrifice. You get rid of Greg Roman, you get rid of a good chunk of the problems because even though it's not him as the only reason, everyone keeps pointing back to Greg Roman. And even players are having problems with him. If your players are having problem with your offensive coordinator, he's going to have to go. Madden Curse hit AB so hard it took a year off. It's back this year. Rodgers and Breeze never really had a good defense. That's why they only won one Super Bowl. Mahomes is going to be the same. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But I don't know. I'm never really the type of person to really believe the man curse. But if it's true, hey, it is what it is. You're gonna have to deal with it. I want to know how that locker room is holding up. I don't think that locker room is in a good condition right now with these injuries and with the way that it looks like the team's divided and something's going on. Oh man, they got to figure something out. If you can go back, would you have taken Patrick Queen in the draft? I wanted Patrick Queen. I really did want Patrick Queen. I feel like we needed a linebacker, so I'm not mad at them picking Patrick Queen. It's just that second round pick. I don't know if I would have taken J.K. Dobbins knowing that we need a receiver. I don't know. I'm looking back at it. It's difficult because to say we wouldn't take Patrick Queen, it'd be crazy because Patrick Queen really looks like the defensive rookie of the year. He's one of the candidates. He's played well. He has been one of the positives of this season. So I can't really say I would just not take. I would have to still take him, but I feel like in the second round, that first pick to get JK, I don't know if I would have made that decision. Might want to take a receiver there. I would have definitely loved T. Higgins, but of course by then Cincinnati took him. That's the tough part. Yeah, Peyton Manning, he called his plays most time. Peyton Manning controlled his offense. He had complete control of that, and nobody was better at in-game adjustments than this man. That's why I love Peyton Manning. Our run defense is the issue. Our pass defense isn't. Yeah, the pass defense is fine. The run defense is where the issue is for the most part. There's so many goddamn injuries this season. It's crazy. Yeah, the injuries are piling up. It's starting to look like 2015, man. The Chiefs defense is top 10, and it's better than it was last year. It's just that run defense that's been an issue. Titans game is going to be the Titans game is going to be the most important game of all season. Both these teams need to get back on track if they want to do anything in the postseason. So both these teams desperately need this win. Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback. He needs weapons around him. Hollywood is not a number one receiver. He needs to be in the slot. I agree with both those things. I think Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback, but again, sometime this year he has not played up to his standard. He needs to improve. But again, while he needs to improve, the team needs to improve, and the weapons around him need to improve. And Hollywood just needs to be in the slot. He can't be in the outside. He definitely needs better receivers. I smell a Cam Cameron treatment coming for Giro if we lose to the Titans. I want that to happen. I don't even want to wait for the Titans. Let him go today. The players' faces didn't look good during the game, so I can imagine how they are in the locker room. They are not doing well right now. The team is in shambles. Lamar's trying to stay positive, but the team's not in a good place. Do you think we have a shot of winning the Super Bowl, the Ravens? With the way this team's right now, nope, not even close. They have again, week 10 is about to end tonight with Monday Night Football. Week 11 to 17, you're going to have to figure it out. And I think these last two games are your final test to see what this Ravens are made of. This Patriots game was supposed to show me something. It showed me this team's in trouble. If you don't win this next two games, it's game over, man. Will Lamar ever be an elite passer when it's third and long and the defense knows he will pass? Can the Ravens win a Super Bowl if he doesn't develop into that type of passer? Well, Lamar himself, again, he needs to improve as a passer, especially when it's third and long and the defense knows he will pass. He needs to improve as a passer, but at the same time, the weapons around him have got to do a better job of getting open. And when they do get open, they got to do a better job at catching the ball because there are plenty of times where he's gotten it to them, especially on third down, and they just don't make it. Last year, he was great on third down. He was great because his receivers were getting separation. He was doing a great job delivering the ball to them. This year, for some reason, they can't do it. And can the Ravens win a Super Bowl if he doesn't develop into that type of guy? He doesn't need to be. It's not like he has to be the top 5 passer. He just needs to be a good to great passer. He doesn't have to be an elite passer like a Russell Wilson or an Aaron Rodgers. But he just got to be good enough as a passer to be able to help his team. But at the same time, the team needs to improve as well. Queen didn't play good last night. Yeah, he had his rookie moment. He played good for the majority of the season, but he had his rookie moment. It's bound to happen, especially with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick loves to abuse rookies. He had his rookie moment. Ravens defense needs to turn into one that won them the Super Bowl against the Giants. That's impossible. This team is not the 2000 Ravens. Okay, you don't have guy. No, they're not going to turn into the 2000 Ravens. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. They don't have the guys to do it. They don't got the guys to do it. They don't got the discipline to do it. They don't have the vocal leader to do that. Okay, nobody in that locker room is going to replace Ray Lewis's leadership. It's not going to happen, man. So you're going to have to figure something out offensively. Patrick Queen did not play good. Yeah, he did not play good last night. He had his rookie moment. I'll give him credit for that. I wish we would have taken Chase Claypool over JK. He was not. That's what I'm talking about. We could have taken him, but we took JK. He could have made an impact on this offense. I don't know how much, but shoot, it could have been more than Boykin. Probably would have been more than Hollywood, man. Once again, the Ravens front office needs to be held accountable. Our receiving coaches need to be held accountable. Our scouting guys need to be held accountable. It seems like since 2012, we've had problems with accountability for mistakes. Now that Sizzle and Yonder are gone, nobody will accept accountability. You don't have those guys. Those guys that were in that situation and understood, that had the discipline and understood what it took to win a championship, they're gone. Who on this roster understands what it takes to win a championship at this point in time? The only person, I believe, from the Super Bowl team, the only ones that are left are Sam and Tucker in terms of players. And it's not like they're going to be the vocal guys on offense or defense. No. Everybody that knows what it takes to win a championship, that knows what it takes to go deep in the playoffs, they're gone. We don't have that voice anymore. And so now you got a bunch of young players and all this talent that don't know what they're doing, going around pointing the fingers at everyone else, not taking accountability, not executing. That's what we are right now. And John has to be the one to rally them. He's got to be the one to step up. Ravens haven't made the trades the last few years that they need to make up. All the Ravens know how to do is trade for a defensive player. Oh, man, offense is having trouble. Let's get a pass rusher. We need a receiver to help Lamar Jackson out. Let's get a pass rusher. That's just what they do. Let's trade for a cornerback. They don't trade for offensive pieces. They've never really done that. They probably won't do that moving forward. That's just what they do. Props to Cam. Yeah, Cam played great yesterday. I mean, passing wise, in the rain, I wouldn't expect him to do much, especially with those receivers. But he did good enough to win, and he made plays when he needed to. Cam did well. All right, man. They should have got rid of Ingram. They're probably going to get rid of him at the end of this season. That's probably the move they're looking at. It just feels like, bro, we don't have enough on offense to win a Super Bowl this season, and the predictable play calling. Greg Roman has to go. Yeah, we don't. We again, I'll say it right now. 3 things: coaching, play calling, discipline. We have none of those. And if you don't have any of these, you're not going to be able to go to a Super Bowl. Simple as that. We need to run more out and comeback routes. They work with Hollywood, but we rarely use them. Go tell that to Greg Roman. I doubt he's going to do that with Hollywood. Let's just keep running go routes. I'm sure he'll be open at some point. Let's keep running go routes. Let's run two routes with this man. Ah, man, sad, sad. And you know what's worse? We don't even take snaps under center as much. We're last. Lamar Jackson is last in taking snaps on the center. We run everything from the pistol. You want to try and mix it up? Why can't we run things in the center? I don't understand that. Somebody explain to me why everything's got to be run from the pistol. Wild card round, who you got? If you're talking about us going up, if you're talking about teams, I think I that can get to the wild card. Well, let's just say based on right now, let's make the assumptions. Everyone that has the lead in the division is going to win. So Steelers going to win the division, Chiefs going to win their division, Colts are going to win the division, and then the Bills are going to win. That's going to leave the Ravens, the Browns, the Titans, the Raiders, and the Dolphins. I think if the Ravens can figure this out, I think they're going to take the first playoff spot. Then I can see the Titans taking the second playoff spot because I just don't believe the Titans. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs. The third one, I called the upset. Now I told you I'm on the Dolphins train right now. I support Tua and I love what I'm seeing. I think Tua's going to pull what Lamar did in his rookie year. He's going to take this team to the playoffs. I think the third playoff spot's going to go to the Dolphins because they are vibing right now. I think they're going to steal it from the Raiders and the Browns. Ravens right now are way too injured to contend. Pretty much, it looks like we're down in the dumps. I don't know what's going to happen, but again, something got to change. We'll see, man. Season ain't over, but something got to change. I think Lamar is a good passer, better on the ground, but still, yeah, he's a good passer. He's not an elite passer, but he's a good passer. Cardinals and Miami is sneakily they're great, man. I love what I'm seeing from Miami. They're just playing as a team in all three phases of the football. They still have some things they got to work out specifically in terms of like helping Tua and stuff, and a little bit with the play calling and coaching because I had some Dolphin fans tell me something about that. But yeah, they're good, and the Cardinals they're doing well. They can compete, but they just got to close out games. There's no reason when you have the lead. You gave Josh Allen throws picks on back-to-back drives, and yet he still has an opportunity to win the game. Cardinals got to figure out how to close games. If they lose to the Titans, Steelers, Browns, they might not make it. Oh, they're definitely not going to make it if they lose those three games. Who would you take? Who would you take? Young 2015 Cam Newton or Lamar Jackson? I'll stick with Lamar Jackson specifically because 2015 Cam, the way he was running, Lamar Jackson gets down or he's going out of bounds. Cam was literally taking on the challenge. He was getting flipped over into the end zone. I can't have my quarterback doing that. Those hits caught up with him. It was not the complete reason that his body couldn't really take that hit. And besides, Cam's doing well now, but like his time in Carolina, those hits added up. At the same time, I don't know why no one talks about this, but we do realize that man was in a car accident, right? Everyone was like, well, Cam just slowly declined in Carolina. The man was in a severe car accident, and no one wants to bring that up. But yeah, I'll pick Lamar. It's just as simple as that. Um, let's see. But I think it's close. I think it's close between Lamar and Cam. You can go either way. I wouldn't blame anyone for taking Cam, but I think you can go either way. Ronnie Stanley is making a lot of impact in the Ravens. Oh, you mean the? Oh, yeah. He makes a lot of impact. If he was still here, he would be making a lot of impact. I miss Stanley. In my opinion, Devin Duvernay needs to play more. We've all been saying that since like week 2, but they're not gonna do that. Yeah, I mean, I'll take 2015. Yeah, you can take 2015 Cam. I think both. Like, it's very close between the two. The only reason I don't want to take 2015 Cam is because Cam was actively taking on the tackles as opposed to Lamar Jackson, who's getting down. I don't want my quarterback literally trying to take on the challenge of defenders. Get down. Cam didn't do that until later on. Chase Claypool would have made a lot of impact in the Ravens offense. He is a big and physical wide receiver. Honestly, I think it's time to have that discussion. Small, speedy receivers does not work with Lamar. You need to get him big physical receivers. Those are the ones Lamar needs on this offense. Stop trying to get into small, speedy receivers. Speed is not going to work with this team. We need big physical receivers. That's what Lamar really needs. Only thing Only thing Ingram brings is energy. Pretty much right now. Michael Vick is better than Matt Ryan. I don't know about that, bro. I mean, I don't know about that. Matt Ryan won an MVP and took his team to the Super Bowl. Had they not choked that 28-3 lead, we could not have this conversation. Ravens defense is overrated. Oh, what's up, Rawl? You're back at it. AFC. 1 Pittsburgh, 2 Kansas City, 3 Buffalo, 4. Oh, you got the Colts winning the. Oh, yeah, true. Indianapolis, 5 Baltimore, 6 Tennessee, 7 Miami. I agree with that. Do you think that Lamar has not been able to run as much as last year? Lamar, the one thing is about Lamar is he's not trying to run. They've cut down on the um they've cut down on the run plays for him because they're trying to get the running backs more involved. So he's not running as much as he was last year. And Lamar doesn't want to run the ball. He just has to do it when he has to make a play. But yeah, it's less about him being able to and more about him not wanting to run. If Mahomes wins a Super Bowl MVP and MVP this year, what would that do for him? Man, that would put him at such a level. I don't know if you can immediately put him. People will probably put him at the Hall of Fame stats, but I feel like Hall of Fame players would be like, he's gonna have to continue to do this. Like at this point, you can't just like after 2 years, all of a sudden we're gonna put you as Hall of Fame. Even though he would have the resume for it, but people won't allow it. Those Hall of Famers be like, no, he's got to continue to play like this. Do you think that the Chiefs will beat the Steelers? I believe the Chiefs can beat the Steelers, but the Steelers have the best chance to beat the Chiefs because of that defense. Y'all need some players on defense, like just to name a few. What are you? Draymond Green, Kawhi, Beverly. Draymond Green is fine with the Warriors. Patrick Beverly can keep running his mouth on the Clippers, and Kawhi can just stay over there with the Clippers. He asked for that. He gonna deal with it. Could have stayed in Toronto. You went to the Clippers. Have fun with that. Steelers aren't good. They just play bad teams. They're so lucky this year. Well, I guess Baltimore would count as a bad team considering the fact they beat us. I don't know. I don't know, man. Again, I know Pittsburgh hasn't played the best of competition, but the fact that they've won, they've been down against Tennessee and they beat Tennessee. They were down against us, double digit for both those situations, and they beat us. So the Titans and the Ravens are both good teams, or they're supposed to be good teams, and the Steelers beat both of them. So I don't know how good you would see the Steelers. Ravens and Niners look dead for now. Pretty much. We need to invest in our offense. Well, Baltimore investing in an offense. That's a pipe dream, man. You go. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen, man. That ain't gonna happen. If that happens, man, I would be beyond happy. But I don't see that happening, man. Chiefs 1, Steelers 2, 3, Titans 4, Dolphins 5, Bills 6, Ravens 7, Colts. That's an interesting lineup. That is definitely an interesting lineup. NFC 1, New Orleans 2, Green Bay 3, Seattle 4, Philadelphia because somebody's gonna win the NFC East 5, Tampa Bay 6, the Raiders 7, Arizona. That's a good list. That's a good list. Chiefs are better than Steelers. Yeah, of course. If Mahomes wins MVP and Super Bowl MVP, what would that do to him? Yeah, like I said, it probably would put him in Hall of Fame status, but the Hall of Famers aren't going to allow that at this point. Yeah, I believe the Chiefs will beat the Steelers. Steelers got to lose a game for us to get that number 1 seed. And I honestly don't see them losing to anyone. Maybe Baltimore might steal one. Maybe the Jags might steal one. The Jags are a trap game. The Jaguars are a trap game. They've always given Pittsburgh a problem, even with when and that page Ben and that Steelers offense had all that talent. They still had trouble beating the Jaguars. So that's a trap game. Don't overlook that. Why make me laugh with all? You make me laugh all the time. Keep it up. And how did you feel when you hit 1K? Honestly, I appreciate that, man. And I just want to hit 1K. It was crazy, man. I didn't really expect to do that. Like I said, when I started making videos like a couple years back, I never really had the goal of being able to actually chat with you guys. I was like, if I could chat with 5 people and had 5 people watching my content, I'd be satisfied. In fact, I thought 5 years down the road, like 5 years into this, I was gonna be like saying, "Congrats, I got 100 subscribers, and I love all 100 of them." But to get 1,000, it's pretty cool, man. But the same thing is always going to be. We're going to keep trucking. We're going to keep that same attitude because at the end of the day, I'm just a dude making videos and I'm talking with other sports fans. I'm no different than you guys. I still, after when this live stream ends, I got to go do other things. So it's nice to have the 1,000 subscribers and I appreciate all of you guys. And I hope you guys stick around. But, I don't want you guys to think like, oh, I got 1,000 subscribers. I'm a big dude. No. I'm always going to be the same. Even if I end up getting success on YouTube, I'm always going to be the same because at the same time, I'm just a guy making videos, interacting with other sports fans. We're all the same in this, okay? Especially as Ravens flock. We're all trying to see this team succeed. I think they're going to lose 1 or 2. They'll probably lose 2 games. It would make his case for Hall of Fame. Yeah, it would definitely make his case stronger. Now I'm really thinking the Rams are a real contender. I don't know what to make of the Rams. The Rams and the Bills have been the most confusing teams this year. I feel like the Bills are a contender, but a lot of people are telling me no. Do you think the Patriots can make it to the playoffs? Be honest. They've got a chance right now. If they can go on a run, they got a good shot. But we'll have to see. Hopefully they lose to the Ravens on Thanksgiving. But again, the way the Ravens are playing right now, I can't put faith in them, bro. I don't have much faith in them winning next week. That's how bad it is right now. Hollywood had all that talk. He has all that talk and he's not doing anything. Part of that has to deal with him not executing. Part of that has to deal with the scheme he's running because they're only making him run like 2 routes. I don't know how much he can do with only 2 routes. Lamar has not had his best year yet. Ravens fans are not letting coaching. Yeah, but yet Ravens fans not letting coaching let him down. The coaching has honestly let Lamar Jackson down. It's been sad. I really enjoy your channel, bro. The next 2 games will tell us a lot about this Ravens team. It's starting to feel like the 2015 season all over again with the injuries. I appreciate the support, man. Yeah, you're right about that, Troy. It's starting to feel like 2015. Lamar or Tua? Raw, bro, I'm not gonna answer that question. Raw, you know I'm not answering that question. You would have to put me on, you would have to you if y'all don't know this, I have so much love for Tua. In 2017, I wanted Tua to be the future quarterback of the Ravens. I looked at this guy and said, this guy's got it. He's got that extra talent. I want this guy to be the quarterback for the Ravens. I didn't see us drafting Lamar Jackson. I didn't see that stuff happening. I thought the Ravens were just gonna roll with Flacco, and by the time Tua was ready in the draft, his contract will be over. We'll be like 3-13, and we could snatch this man. But we got Lamar. The rest is history. I love Lamar. I wouldn't trade him for the world. But in terms of who would I take, Lamar or Tua, I will never answer that question on a live stream or on camera. You would have to put me on a lie detector test to get the answer. I personally felt the weather in Hollywood and Skura cost us. Those were definitely major factors. I'm thinking Dez and Boykin. Yep, put Dez on the outside, move Boykin to tight end. You can make it work. Harden wants to go to the Sixers or the Nets. He can go to the Sixers. He's got a better chance being successful on the Sixers than the Nets. You're not finna put this man with Kyrie and KD and expect it to work. You guys only got one basketball. No. If he goes to the Nets, that's a wrap for them. They're going to collapse on themselves because you only got one basketball. And you got a ball dominant guy in Harden and another ball dominant guy in Kyrie. And then you just got KD on the backside, just having to take he's gonna be the third guy because these two are too ball dominant. It's not gonna work. Take him to Philly. He has a better chance to work there. My Seahawks are in trouble. Yeah, that defense is gonna cost you guys in the playoffs. The Jags were good against Green Bay on Sunday. Yeah, they were good against Green Bay on Sunday. So Pittsburgh, watch out. Imagine she's winning the Super Bowl 10 years in a row. That will never happen. The NFL, it doesn't work like that. Right. The NBA didn't have parity for a long time. And still, the Warriors weren't able to win 10 in a row. They weren't even able to completely three-peat. So, yeah. Do you live in Baltimore? I don't live in Baltimore, but I do live in Maryland. Bro, you are so underrated for me, bro. You will hit 1 million. I'm not hitting 1 million soon. That I would have to make the most epic video that just got showed on television, and then I would blow up. But I'm not really trying to look for fame or anything. I'm just cool doing my thing. Hey man, if Steelers win the AFC North, gonna have to get you some terrible. Don't you? Don't you dare! Don't you dare do that! I appreciate that, man. Like, nah, y'all know that's gonna be the ultimate level of satisfaction for you guys. Um, do you think the Cowboys' new quarterback can take them to the playoffs? They almost beat the Steelers, so I don't know. I don't know. The Cowboys are weird. How would Week 11 work out for the Ravens? I have no clue. They're gonna have to figure out what they're going to do. The Nets are gonna play with two basketballs. Yeah, you put Harden on that team. They're working two basketball. Yo, what's up, man? What is that? J Combatants Game? What type of that is a very interesting username, bro. That's a very interesting name. I like it. Do you think Greg Roman is a good offensive coordinator? Sure, Raul. I know he's a good offensive coordinator. He's a brilliant offensive coordinator. See, you see how that doesn't make sense with what I'm saying? I know you're having fun with this, man. I know you're having fun with this. Jets should go to the XFL. Nah, we want people to watch the XFL, not leave it. Don't take the Jets there. Chris Paul was traded to the Suns. Man, that trade works out more for OKC than it works out for the Suns. You get Chris Paul, they're definitely going to help out Devin Booker, but OKC right now, with the amount of picks they got from Paul George trade and Russell Westbrook and now Chris Paul, bro, they got a lot of young talent and a lot of good pieces with these draft picks. In a couple years, if they draft right, this could be a contender. Gotta love what I'm seeing. I think the Falcons will win if Breeze is out. I think my Falcons will win if Breeze is out. That's Oh, that's quite. I don't know. They could. They could because Jameis is going to be the guy, but at the same time, I don't know what Jameis is so inconsistent that he can go out there and throw for like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions will come with that. So I don't know, man. The Falcons got a shot. It breezes out. The Falcons got a shot, but I don't know which Jameis Winston is going to show up. I live in Delaware. I don't know. I've never been to Delaware. Is it a cool place? Lamar Jackson, future Hall of Famer. He's in his third season. I'm not about to know. He's in his third season. Do you think Tom Brady will retire next year? No, Tom Brady's not retired until he can't physically throw a football anymore. Like he legit cannot throw a football. That's when he's going to retire. And even then, they're gonna have to drag him out of the league. If the Cowboys had Dak, I feel like the Ravens Cowboys game would be much more exciting. Oh, definitely it would. Raiders versus Chiefs. I am kind of scared. It's going to be an interesting game. The Chiefs got to get their revenge here. If the Raiders beat them, then man, the Raiders have the formula to beat you guys if they win again. Hey man, terrible towels are cool. Every Sunday before the game, bruh, I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear that, Justin. Nobody needs to hear that. Wild card round: AFC, KC over Miami, Tennessee over Buffalo, and Baltimore over Indianapolis. If we meet up with the Colts, we got a good shot to win. I don't know about the Titans. Tyreek or DK? Oh my God. Tyreek is a cheat code, but DK is literally a Madden created player. Like, if you were to create a player on Madden, he would be DK Metcalf. Like, legit. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Tyreek is definitely performing better, but DK is literally a Madden type player. I know same for Tyreek, but like I don't know, man. He's an athletic freak. I might have to go with DK low key, but I wouldn't have no problem taking Tyreek. It's tough. It's really tough, man. But like, whew, best video. You're catching Harbaugh with all facts live, Chris Hansen style. Someone should got. We gotta go tell John Harbaugh to take a seat. Then we gotta ask him, what are you doing here, man? And why is Greg Roman still here? Matter of fact, no. Let's call up Greg Roman. Let ask him to take a seat and ask him what he's doing. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, Greg Roman? You see your quarterback Lamar Jackson struggling. Why do you feel the need to put him in that situation? Like we saw your comments during the press conference, and you said I'm used to people knowing my plays and calling them out. You think that's good? You think that's good? I'm so sick, Greg Roman. The Ravens will win the Super Bowl. I would love that, but a lot of things gonna have to change if that happens. If the Ravens play the Chiefs in the playoffs, who you got winning? Come on, man. You know it's gonna be the Chiefs. Unless this Ravens completely turn around and change up every aspect. The defense gotta get healthy. The offense needs to be completely revived. Greg Roman's gotta be gone. Everything's gotta change for the Ravens in order for them to beat the Chiefs. Who's my favorite NBA team? I rock with the Miami Heat. I should, if I ever have times at some point, I'm gonna see if I can go visit Delaware at some point. I'm trying to travel more, but I'm busy trying to finish school and stuff. When I have the opportunity, I'll definitely do that. Ravens got a tank. We'll be sure to do that, man. AFC Pittsburgh over Tennessee and KC over Baltimore. I'll definitely. Oh, in the division round. Roll asks the best questions, Dots. Yo, he asks the best questions. He definitely does. Championship KC over Pittsburgh, and who do you think is going to win? Raiders versus Chiefs. I don't know. This is good. I think the Chiefs can win this game, but the Raiders, they seem that first game they really got them. So I think the Chiefs got to get revenge here. I would not be surprised if the Raiders win though, because it seems like they got a formula to slow down the Chiefs. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Hey, we need to prioritize wide receiver development. It's been a problem for years. Imagine Tyreek, a Ravens player. We would waste him. We would waste him. We would waste him. Hey man, better watch out. Them Browns coming. You hear that every year, but this year's different. Just like last year was different, and the year before that. Better watch out. Baker Mayfield, best quarterback. Baker Mayfield's not the best quarterback. The reason they're winning games is because of their running game, and Stefanski knows that. They won the game yesterday because Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb went off. They both had over 100 yards rushing. They're just going to win games by relying on the run game and making it simpler for Baker. That's how they got to do things. Last year, I thought the Titans were too overhyped near the end of the season. This year, I think Arizona is a small bit overhyped. I think they're not consistent enough to go far in the playoffs. I can say in some cases they're a bit overhyped. Their issue is they can't close games. If they figure out how to close games, they're going to be fine. Will Lamar ever leave Baltimore? Lamar's not the type of player to really leave Baltimore. Again, this is the team that drafted in 32nd. He has a goal that he wants to prove. He wants to prove Ozzy and DeCosta right for drafting him, and he wants to prove all the doubters wrong. That's just how it is. He's not leaving Baltimore. I mean, that didn't that get, pretty sure he had a tattoo of a raven on his chest. He's not going anywhere. Russell Wilson gave me 9 points in fantasy. DK gave me 4 points. Yeah, they were a disappointment against the Rams. Man, Jalen Ramsey shut down DK. That was bad. I actually think we got a great shot at beating the Chiefs if we stick to their game plan. We have a shot, but it's about execution, man. And the Ravens aren't executing right now. Oi, the Ravens lose the Titans. They fire Greg Roman. We'll see and get a new offensive coordinator. I would love that. I don't want to lose the Titans, but I want Greg Roman gone. If we're healthy and we actually stick to running the ball, Ravens will beat the Chiefs. We'll have to see. I really want to meet you because I live in Delaware. Man, if I ever have an opportunity at some point, maybe I don't know. I'm still trying. I'm still busy in Maryland doing things, but who knows? Maybe at some point in the future, I might try and set up stuff like that. But I'm kind of small. I'm just doing. I'm busy trying to figure out everything in my life, finish school, work, do other stuff. Steelers can beat Kansas City. It would be yeah, but it would be close because that defense is going to keep it close. That's the only way you're going to beat the Chiefs in a close game. I put 50,000 if the Jets make it to. Yeah, Jets would not make it. They're not going. to You know you could put money on that. You're not losing that money. Are you a Chiefs fan or at least a little bit of fan of them? Nope, I am not a Chiefs fan, and I am not a little bit of fan of them. I'm a fan of football, so I love to see teams play like that. I love to see great plays. I like what I'm seeing with Arizona. I like what I'm seeing with the Bills. I like what I'm seeing with Pittsburgh. When I'm an NFL fan, I like watching what other teams do because I like football. But to say I'm a Chiefs fan or still, no, 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 no. I got one team. It's the Ravens. I'm always going to be rocking with Ravens flock until I die. That's just how it is. I'm not going to be like, I'm going to be a little bit a fan of them. No, no, no. It doesn't work like that. The closest you're going to get to that is the support I have for Washington. The only reason I support Washington is because I live here. Washington's the home team, and I just want to see a Washington football team succeed. I'm not a fan of them, but I just want to see them succeed, so I got to support them. DK Metcalf in Baltimore. We'd waste him. With this coaching staff, we'd waste him. Everything's not Lamar's fault. Yeah, of course, everything's not Lamar's fault. It's a team thing. Lamar, we already got to hold it with Lamar, but it's it's not just Lamar. It's execution. It's the offensive line. It's the receivers. It's the coaching. It's everything, man. People don't remember that Arizona lost to Carolina and Detroit. Carolina is a tough team. Carolina is a tough team. Detroit is a different situation, but Carolina's a tough team. They took the Chiefs to the absolute brink. But that's just how it is. Ravens don't have any good players in fantasy. That's actually true. They don't. Devontae Adams or Julio Jones. Y'all really put me through that right now. Oh man, that's tough. It's close, but I like Julio, man. I like Julio a lot. I like Julio a lot. Who are your favorite players out of the draft? Out of the draft, the Ravens had. I loved Patrick Queen. I wanted Patrick Queen. Um, I like Malik Harrison. I feel like he's slowly growing and developing. Um, Other than that, for the most part, I like Matabuke. I like Matabuke. And Prochet, I liked him because I believed he could help our return game. J.K. Dobbins, I like J.K. Dobbins, but I felt like we needed to get a receiver over a running back, so it is what it is. Do you think Patrick Mahomes will ever leave KC and come to Baltimore? No, what a that's no. Kyler or Tua? I mean, Kyler's playing better right now. You gotta give him the credit. Once Tua gets his feet truly stepped into the NFL and starts doing his thing, I'm taking Tua. But gotta give credit to Kyler, man. Is there any receivers you wanted in this draft? CD Lamb would have been nice. Judy would have been nice. Didn't get those guys. T. Higgins would have been nice, but we didn't get those guys. So it is what it is. I'm surprised the media didn't go crazy on Lamar. I think the reason the media didn't go crazy on Lamar is because for the first time this season, they got to see the flaws of this Raven squad on national television. It's easy when it's a Sunday 1 o'clock game and you don't really have to pay attention to it. It's easy to sit back and blame Lamar for everything. But Sunday night, you saw the flaws. You saw the receivers fail to get any separation. Whenever they do, they're dropping wide open passes. You saw Greg Roman call a wildcat on 4th and 1. You saw the offensive line fail to protect Lamar Jackson and commit idiotic penalty after penalty. And most importantly, you saw his snapper, his center, not even know how to properly snap a ball. Literally, they get a first down, very next play, messed up snap, we lose 16 yards. They saw everything. You saw the weaknesses and all the things this man's dealing with on the offense. So they couldn't really go on Lamar like that. And plus, the man was 24-34 for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns in that storm. So I don't think at this point you could really, you know, be too hard on Lamar. Even the people that are consider themselves haters of Lamar's were like, yeah, I can't even put this on him. At some point, the guy's human. You can't just ask him to do the impossible. Hi, Hollywood a clown. Ah, man, yeah, you can't call out your offensive coordinator and then not show up yourself. It's not all his fault, but you got to show up yourself. How many Super Bowls will Tua win? I think he can win a Super Bowl. I think he can win a Super Bowl, but it's gonna take some time. I think Tua can bring a Super Bowl. I'm that confident in him. Kyle Murray is a young Russell Wilson. You can definitely make that argument. Josh Allen or Lamar. This season, you gotta. This season, it's close. I mean, Josh Allen, he's had moments of inconsistency, and it's been close, but I guess you gotta give the edge to Josh Allen, but at the same time, the man's working with better weapons. Lamar Jackson's got an offensive line stuff. I don't know. It's very close between that. I don't really know. You'd probably give it to Josh Allen just because of how he's playing this season. Did you and your dad ever have some controversial time together? That is a weird question to ask, and no, we've never had any controversial time together. What are you implying, dude? It's weird. I'm taking this in the next draft coming. Any names come to mind for receivers? I would have to look at the receivers before I would actually make any picks. And that'll be more towards when the draft comes up. And I'll probably talk about that at that point. I need the Chiefs to beat the Bucks so Skip can shut up about Tampa Bay. He's never gonna shut up about Tampa Bay. Chiefs can beat the Bucks. He'll say that Mahomes got lucky. Brady just had a rare bad day. Defense didn't help him out. Bruce Arians doesn't know how to coach. He's got plenty of excuses. You should live stream during the games. I'm trying to set that up so I can live stream during the games more often, but it's just about my setup and the timing to do it and stuff like that. I'm trying. 2019 Ravens or 2020 Steelers. I think the 2019 Ravens would do a great job on the 2020 Steelers, but at the same time, especially like the second half 2019 Ravens, I think they would do a great job beating the 2020 Steelers. Not it would be a close game, obviously, but I think they would the way they were executing, they would be disciplined enough to hold on to the lead they had. They had a 10-point lead against the Steelers. The 2019 Ravens are not losing a 10-point lead. The way Lamar gets treated in the media is unfair. It's so unfair. They throw everything at Lamar and say, hey, figure it out. But they don't want to call out the coaching for not helping him out. Like, I'll continue to say this. How can you expect a man to succeed when everyone he's surrounded by is failing him? Don't know. That's the question I pose to the media. Roman is such an offensive mastermind. Him and Adam Gase deserve each other. They deserve each other in the unemployment aisle because we need them out. They don't deserve jobs in the NFL. Top 5 quarterbacks all time. See, that's tough. I can't even put of all time. I would have to be like top 5 quarterbacks I've seen play for me. I put Peyton Manning at number 1. I'm not going to disrespect Brady. Give him his credit. He's been clutch at number 2. Um, Aaron Rodgers at number 3 because he's the greatest thrower of the football I've seen. Drew Brees at number 4 because I mean the accuracy this guy's had in his career and having to carry the New Orleans Saints. And I'm gonna give respect to Big Ben. I'm gonna put him at number 5. I think that I'm not gonna say that's not top quarterbacks all the time, but that's gonna be my top 5 quarterback list of the people I watched growing up. If I was to do an all-time list, I have to really go back and look at it because you gotta get John Elway in it, you gotta get Marino in it. People are not gonna give it to Marino, but you gotta get Montana in it for sure. There's a lot of guys. Lamar is in Aaron Rodgers' position minus throwing accuracy in a Hall of Fame minded. Yeah, Adams and Jones. Yeah, definitely. Get OBJ. The man's injured. Did you and your dad? What? Ethan. I don't know what you're trying to say, man. You're trying to call some weird stuff here. My buddy at work, he's like my big bro. He's a Ravens fan. He ragged on your team all season. Now he's saying, "Oh, we put up this many yards, this that." I'm like, "Who won? What was the final score?" Man, yards don't matter. Passing yards are the most overrated stat in the league. Passing yard does not equate to wins. We saw that with Dak Prescott. It does not equate to wins. I don't care how much you throw for it. The point is to win the game. Figure out to win the game. I hate the Titans, Eagles, and Buccaneers. Titans because they kicked us out. Eagles, we should have we should have 7 rings, and Gronk had to suck. Tom went wow. Yeah, yo, you wild for that. Did you see the Rutgers play too? I did not. Jalen Ramsey or Tre'Davious White? I like Tre'Davious White. I don't know. You still got to give it to Ramsey, especially since he shut down DK Metcalf. Bold predictions: Lamar Jackson will suicide. What? Because all the media is going against Lamar and he can't win a playoff game. I don't know what you're trying. He will sue. You mean he's gonna? I don't know what you're trying to say, man. Winston threw for 5K last year and they didn't do nothing. Exactly. Do you live by yourself? No, I don't live by myself. You asked some weird questions, man. Is RG3 a good backup? He's a solid backup, but if he was in right now, we would not have 6 wins. I can guarantee you that. All right. I want Prochet to get reps right now. If I'm not eating up, if not, I'm eating the bar. So he needs reps. He definitely needs reps. 11-5 or 12-4. Even though it's a good record, I'm pissed. As long as we can make the playoffs, we got a chance. RG3, if he will start, we have 2 or 3 wins, no question. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. This was a great stream. I appreciate you guys. Beautiful time to call. I appreciate you guys hopping on the live stream, doing your thing. It was great. Ravens got a lot to fix. Moving forward, definitely something needs to change this week. I think a big shock would be firing Greg Roman. It would definitely help the team come together, but we'll see what happens, man. We'll be talking about the matchup against the Titans later this week, but yeah, we'll see what goes on. Anyway, guys, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the support. I love you all. Thank you, guys, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.